Hi everyone, this is Professor Ratajczyk giving you a message about the base period in the freight rebate program. Just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. Now, what is the base period? Well, I mentioned that briefly in the assignment where I said if you use a percent change qualifier, you might not be changing your pricing every month or every quarter. So one thing people haven't caught on to is I have to remember when my base period is, because if I don't, then I'm going to lose some money. And I'm going to show you what that means here. So first, canvassing the data. I've got a year worth of data here. Diesel fuel prices here. Percent change in diesel fuel prices I've not calculated yet. Obviously, we can't calculate January because we don't have a previous period. So I like to put in an X there. So where that X is right there. Now for your information, our rebate qualifier is 3%. What that means is current price for diesel has to be 3% greater than the base period. Okay, what is base period? Well, that's determined by mathematics. Currently, we have a 2% rebate. So based on our spend, we are going to get 2% back. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this means. I'm going to do new minus base. Okay. I'm using this word base instead of old. It's similar, but start practicing this idea of new minus base divided by base. And I'll show you what this means soon. Okay? So I've got 0.7%. Okay, according to my rebate qualifier, does that allow us to raise our price? No, it does not, because it has to be 3%. Okay, so I'm going to do it again. I'm just going to copy the formula over. Okay. Now, March compared to February, pricing went up 0.6. Okay, now take a pause and look at what I did. I'm going to double click my formula. I did March minus February. So new minus old divided by old. That is not the correct way to approach this problem. Okay, we need to do base. The formula should be new minus base divided by base. Okay. Now what is base? Base is the last period where you changed the price. So if I haven't changed my rebates in January, well, January is my base. So in reality, by base analysis. So by base. So the first one there, row 3 is percent change in diesel monthly, percent change by base. So ultimately, I'm going to have the same formula here because we always start with the first number as being our base. So I got my 7% there. Okay. However, for March, this is what you need to do. It's 311 minus the last time I had a price change. You can see the last time I had a price change was the first one ever for this company, which is in B9 here. So I take the base period. I don't take February because February is not my base period. January is my base period. Okay. Now what you're going to see is a big difference here. You see the difference? If I just do a monthly calculation, I'm going to get a 0.6. I'm never going to change my pricing. So I've got this calculation here. It takes into account the 0.7 that I got from February compared to January, plus that 0.6 from March. Okay. Is this greater than 3%? No. Okay. So we continue on our way. I'm just going to move this all down there for you. Okay, so now I do the same calculation over here. Equals April minus January divided by January. Why do I use January again? It's because it's my base period. I haven't changed my pricing yet. Okay, so April compared to January, which is our base period, is 2.6%. Does that qualify? No, it does not. So now we go into May. May minus base period is January divided by January. Right. Now I've got 3% here. But guess what? It's 3.3%. Hooray, we can now change our price. So what this means is February was 2%, March was 2%, April was 2%. May was 2%. January would be our first month where we can change things. Okay, so now we take 2%, our current rebate, times 1 plus the 3.3%. And now we have a new rebate of 2.07%. Didn't go up much, but it's still worth some money. Okay, so let's do June. So now we take June of 323, and what do you think the base period is this time? Is it January? No, it is not. Why is it not January anymore? We just did January, February, March, April, May using January as the base. Why all of a sudden is it June? Well, it's because we changed our rebate. We now use the base period of May, because we're comparing all future changes compared to the base. Okay. So now we've got a 2% change since the base period. Again, these two numbers here are the base period results. Okay. So because this is not 3%, we're going to have the same rebate in July. So now we do the formula again, this time July. We're still using May as the base period because that hasn't changed. Divided by May, Right there. And now we've got negative 3.5%. Guess what? That qualifies. So now we do another math problem. Equals this. So your current rebate times 1 plus the percent change, because that's a qualifier. So now our rebate is 1.99%. Okay? So this is what you need to do. This is the essence of the project. You are comparing, based on the volatility in the market for diesel fuel, if we're changing our price so often, as you can see from this quick chart here, this is our rebate being changed. Is that good for business? This is what you're doing. So let's do one more, because now we got a new base period. So August minus, what's the base period? July. Why is it July? Because that's the last time we changed our rebate structure. Okay. And guess what? Looks like 3%, but is it? No, it is not. It is 2.6%. So the rebate stays the same. Let's do September. September. Okay. Minus the May. Nope. Minus the July here. Sorry, June. Minus the June. Divide by the June. I'm starting to lose track here. Easy to do. Okay. So what do we have here? Not much change. Okay, because June to June. So basically what this is showing here is, even though there was a swing over here, right in here, your suppliers paid a lot of diesel because they were paying based off of this price over here. So this is the financial analysis you have to do.